for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. With Tony Marinaro.
55 seconds left in the penalty, a minute and 27 seconds left in regulation time. Boston 4, Montreal 3. Lafleur coming out rather gingerly on the right side. He gives it into Lemaire, back to Lafleur.
The sickest Montreal Canadiens podcast.
You're in the ball!
Sports entertainment like no other.
Rejoint, on lui fait perdre la rondelle, une passe devant. Et c'est le dégagement, et ce sera la victoire des Canadiens. Coupe Stanley pour les Canadiens, le 23e de l'histoire.
You found the dogs! John, you found the dogs! He found the dogs! And all together, they worked the young team to the top. And now, a 24th Stanley Cup banner will hang from the rafters of the famous Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens win the Stanley Cup.
Brought to you by Energy Transportation Group. Driven to be different. La Vida Tibi. Embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination. It's gonna be sick.
Monday night, July 31st. How is everyone doing? It is the Sick Podcast, and you can watch us on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. I'm Marinaro. Thanks for watching, everyone. And thanks to our partners and sponsors, starting with Energy Transportation Group, recently named by Deloitte and CIBC as one of Canada's best managed companies, the country's leading business award, recognizing innovative and world-class companies, the best managed Canadian companies. Designation fuels Energy's purpose of creating progress for their customers, their employees, and their communities. Join a winning team and check out Energy's career page for available opportunities. Brewed in Quebec, a winner of a dozen international awards, Bittt Tibi offers quality microbrewery beers made with premium ingredients for everyone's taste. Bittt Tibi, embrace your true nature. Distributed, of course, by the Geloso Beverage Group. And it was pretty cool to catch up with Ted Farace last week over a bite. We went out to eat. We were also joined by my good buddy Joey DiCaprio, who ate for all of us. But everybody loves Joey. So you know what? You just close your eyes and you watch it happen. Also brought to you in part by Playground, your premier gaming destination, open 24/7. Drinks are always free while you play. Over 600 machines, poker tournaments, cash games, daily promotions, free valet, and unmatched customer service. Why go anywhere else? Located just over the Mercier Bridge, only minutes from downtown Montreal. Playground. I was there with my wife, one of my boys, and my mother-in-law. We brought her to have some fun on Saturday night, a couple of nights ago, and play a little bit of everything, a little bit of the slots and a little bit of the machines and stuff like that. And free sweet table, by the way. Well, they bring out a sweet, everything's, they bring out a sweet table on Saturday nights and at 10 o'clock. And there was a lineup starting at around 9:15 or 9:20. And I'm telling you, if you haven't been there before, like this is one of the best kept secrets in town, I guess, because you can, you're playing, you can have a beverage, and once again, the drinks are free, and the sweet table on Saturday night, and the food is very, very inexpensive, and you don't lose out on quality. I really enjoy going there. I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy talking to all of you, so much so that I had made the decision to actually go solo tonight and talk to you and do something that I haven't done in a while and I'm hoping to get a lot of reaction. 6 1/3 says, hope you didn't lose too much. Don't worry about it. 6 1/3. I'm okay. It's all good. Says Don Manolo, listening from Greece as I'm reading some of your YouTube messages. Habs Fan TV says, sick. Breaking news. We have breaking news. Hello to the guys at Habs Fan TV. Joe Manella, Philippe Doyon, Neil Mack, 66 Spinning, Kelly, 6 1/3. They're all weighing in via the YouTube chat, and I say hello to all of you. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to talk Montreal Canadiens. There's no shortage of things to talk about. By the way, Lane Hudson scored a goal earlier this evening. What a goal that he scored at the World Junior Summer Showcase versus USA. Mind you, it looked like the game was a walk in the park for him and his teammates. Nevertheless, he dangled everyone like they haven't been dangled before. He scored a goal, which brought the score 6-0 USA at the time, but we're talking about like some dominant shifts for Lane Hudson, and that was a goal where he was just kind of like just playing with everybody. It was beautiful. Anyway, a lot of you have asked me a question over the last little while, which is, are you taking calls? And usually I took calls during the hockey season, and I took calls. We had a segment called You Called, and I took calls after the Canadiens games, which for the most part were Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, and I would take your calls. Tonight, I haven't talked to you in a while. A lot of you are asking me, hey, Tony, are you taking calls? I think you have some things you want to talk about, whatever, and I'll take your calls. So why don't we do that? I'll give out the number, and it's the same number that we've had all the time. It's 1-888-585-SICK, 1-888-585-7425. So this is a toll-free number. And so once again, if you're watching on your TV or your computer screen or whatever, you can use your cell phone. If you're actually watching on your cell phone, though, at that point, the best way to do it is to pick up a cordless phone at your house and call me from the cordless phone. So many things I want to talk to you about tonight. If you want to talk about Lane Hudson dangling, we can talk about Lane Hudson dangling. It was unbelievable. Arpin Basu of The Athletic wrote a real good story earlier today, and he brought up a lot of points. And one of the things he talked about is the lines. And so I want to bring them up here if I can. Juliana and Sammy at Master Control. All right, there you have it. Here are his lines. Suzuki with Caulfield on his left and Alex Newhook on his right. Kirby Dach centering Uri Slafkowski on his left and Josh Anderson on his right. Monahan centering Armia and Gallagher. And Jake Evans centering Jesse Ylönen and Raphael R.V. Pinard. Those are his lines for opening night, should there not be any injuries. And, of course, Christian Dvorak will be out for a while. And when he returns to the lineup, at that point, Arpin Basu sees the lines changing up. The first line is still the same with Suzuki, Caulfield, and Newhook. The second line then changes. He has Kirby Dach with Josh Anderson on the right and Sean Monahan on the left. Slafkowski drops down a spot for Dvorak to go at center. Brendan Gallagher stays third line right wing. And Yoel Armia is your fourth line right winger. Jake Evans is your centerman. And Jesse Ylönen is your winger. Jesse Ylönen, by the way, 23 years old, winger, 6 goals, 10 assists, 16 points in 37 games last year. And the Montreal Canadiens announced earlier this morning that Jesse Ylönen was signed to a 1-year, 2-way contract. 1-year, 2-way contract. So I take a look at these lines, and I definitely have an opinion. But if you want to call in, then we can discuss the opinion that I have. We can discuss it because I have an opinion on these lines. So you know what? I'll give out the number one more time. Write it down. It's toll free. 1-888-585-7425. 1-888-585-7425. That's the number. 66 spinning, Dvorak. There's 2 lineups. One, he's not in it because he's out with an injury. And the other is he's back and he's centering a third line. Tony Prigioniero says Ylönen will be in Laval. Could very well be. Could very well be. Vinny Poli says Slav needs Monahan to center him to give him some space on the ice. Kind of makes sense. But at the same time, I also like Josh Anderson being on a line with Slafkowski because I know Slafkowski is a big guy, but someone's going to need to take care of him and insulate him and be there in case something happens. And on that note, wouldn't you want a guy like that on a line with Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield as well? Don't you want someone to be their quote-unquote protector? And so it has me thinking that if Slafkowski is going to be on one line and Caulfield and Suzuki are going to be on another line, the Canadiens are going to need another kind of Josh Anderson kind of player to be on that other line. That's what I think anyway. That's what I think. Sammy, you let me know when we're going to go to the phone calls, and someone's going to be calling in. Arpon Basu, by the way, also brought up his defense pairings. Let's bring them up. Mike Matheson, Caden Gooley, Jack Guy with Savard, Jordan Harris with Jonathan Kovacevic. So as you see here, the Justin Barron is not there, not in the top 6. And you take a look at a couple of lines that the Arpon brought up. Let's bring up the forwards again. You're going to notice that there is a player missing from both scenarios. Have you spotted who that player is yet? Live on Twitter, live on Facebook, and live on YouTube. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. We're 13,100 and change strong subscribers. And, I don't want to get too greedy, but in my ideal world, it would be 131,000 instead of 13,100. So safe to say we have a ways to go. With just under 400 watching live, in my ideal world, it would be 400,000 watching live. So we have a lot of work to do here on the Sick Podcast, but I'm not going anywhere. Unless God decides to take me, of course, and I'm hoping that I can stick around for a little bit longer. Joel Kravitz says, how come no Mike Hoffman? I also believe that Slafkovsky should be playing with Sean Monahan. No Mike Hoffman because, Arpon, like many others, believe that he can possibly be waived, sent down to the Laval, spend the season there, and then he'll be gone. And this way he doesn't get in the way of the culture that they're trying to build here. Now, I look at things a little bit differently, but that's just me. I'm the kind of guy that I'm always trying to, when a player's not in my plans, I'm always trying to get as much as I can for that player. It's called asset management. Mike Hoffman is in the final year of his contract. Sean Monahan is in the final year of his contract. So, interesting lines that Arpon has, and Newhook with his speed and his skill. They want to see how he'll look, and he's got them on the number 1 line. I wouldn't be surprised if Arpon is right. I really wouldn't. I would go in a different direction. If it's me, and I'm talking asset management, there are 2 players that are going to spend a lot of time playing with Suzuki and Caulfield this year. One is going to be Sean Monahan. The other is going to be Mike Hoffman. Both players in the final year of their contract, and I'm going to try and boost their stats or give them the opportunity to pad their stats as much as they can playing with those guys. And if I lose game 7-5, and you know what? They can pick up 2 or 3 points, so be it. Now, I know a lot of you watching are like, no, Tony, this is the year we finally have to go for, put it this way. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world if the Canadiens make the playoffs. I don't think it'll be all that bad. As a matter of fact, more cases, more often than not, that's supposed to be a good thing, right? Because if you make the playoffs, you have a chance. You have a 1 in 16 chance to win the Stanley Cup. But for me, it wouldn't be the be-all, end-all, try and make the playoffs, and it wouldn't be the be-all, end-all by not trying to make the playoffs. I'm not trying to tank, and I'm not trying to make the playoffs at all cost either, if that makes sense to you. I don't know if Marty St. Louis is going to be able to do that juggling act, but, Bobby says Mike Hoffman can't keep up, Tony. He'll just make all of them look worse. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Suzuki's got 7 years left on his deal, and Caulfield's got 8 years left on his deal. For me, that they're not going to look as good as they should look for 60 games. It's not the end of the world. I care more about the next 6 and 7 years after this year than I care about the next 60 games. Right? Because the year after that, one of the players whose contract comes to an end is going to be Armia. I'm not so sure I want to repeat that exercise with Armia at that point. So, just my opinion, of course. Just my opinion. I think we have a caller. We have 5 questions, actually. Folks, I'm telling you right now, I did this for you tonight because 66 Spinning keeps on asking me when I'm opening up the phone lines. So tonight, even though it's we usually don't do it when there's no game, I told Sammy and Juliana we're opening up the lines tonight if someone calls in. So now I'm opening up the lines. If you're not calling tonight, don't ask me again to open them up. You're going to have to wait till the beginning of next season. I wouldn't mind doing by the way, an Ask Me Anything. I used to do that every now and then. Pretty much anyone who's worked radio does a kind of segment like that. An Ask You Anything. I don't mind if you want to do an Ask Me Anything. I'll pretty much answer anything. Let's get to some of the questions. I'm sipping on my cold coffee. It's only I know how to make. Stefan Vezina. You see that? Hello. Cafe. Huh? Cafe freddo. Where do you see the Habs in the standings next year? Bottom 5, between 5 and 10. They will not be bottom 5. They're going to be better than that. Do I think they're going to make I'm not ready to answer that question yet, whether or not they're going to make the playoffs. Let me answer that question right before the puck drops for game 1. So maybe the night before game 1, I'll answer that question, whether or not the Canadiens are going to make the playoffs. Tonight, what I'll answer, they're not going to be a bottom 5 team. They're going to be better than a bottom 5 team. I am absolutely convinced of that. Next question. This coming in from Vincent Cote. Hey, Tony, do you think Caulfield could have the yay since Edmondson is no longer a part of the team, or maybe Josh Anderson? That's an interesting question. I wouldn't give him the yay. Why would I put the pressure of a letter, and I understand the letter is not the C, I get it, on Cole Caulfield's chest? I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. He's going to put pressure on himself already to try and go out and score goals. He doesn't need any added pressure. I think we got a call. Is it, what are we doing over here? We're bringing up graphics. We have Jose. Jose, is that you?
Hi, Tony. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, Jose, where are you calling me from?
I'm calling you from Montreal.
From Montreal. Jose from Montreal. Where exactly in Montreal?
I'm located in Hochelaga Maisonneuve.
Hochelaga Maisonneuve. I know it very well. By the way, I've gone out on about 4 or 5 Vespa rides now. We're a group of about 9 people. And we've gone out 5 people on one occasion, 6 or 7 people on other occasions. We're called the Vesperonis. So if you see us traveling around Montreal, that's us. I'm part of the group. We are the Vesperonis. And we usually go either on a Saturday or on a Sunday, leave at around 10 a.m. or so, get back home at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The day we end up choosing all depends on the weather. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I didn't know my way around town all that much. You can tell me I'm around this area, and I probably wouldn't know what you're talking about. But ever since we've been going on these Vespa rides and going Notre Dame all the way down through Old Montreal, all the way to downtown. Downtown probably ends up leading to Sherbrooke Street or René Lévesque, and then turning on St. Lawrence, and then going all the way down into Little Italy, going for a coffee at San Simeon. And I think they have one of the places, I would say they're top 3 in the city for the best coffee in the city. That's a free plug for them, by the way. Hopefully it gets me a coffee next time. If it doesn't, $2 here, $2 there. No one's going to get rich and no one's going to go poor. Anyway, it'll be a pleasure. But
right.
So I know my way around town. So when you're telling me Hochelaga Maisonneuve, I know exactly where you are. Exactly.
All right.
You're probably not far from the Centre Nutrilait, right?
Sorry?
You're not far from Centre Nutrilait, Notre Dame, and Le Tourneux.
I'm close to the Olympic Stadium.
Oh, you're close to the Olympic Stadium. Okay, very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly where you are.
Yeah. So the reason for which I'm calling you is I have an opinion to make. I would like to say that I would like to see Sean Monahan paired up with Kirby Dack more often. I believe last year we saw some pretty good results when the two of them were playing. I would like to see that. I'd be happy seeing that if it keeps happening this season. And second, I also read the article from The Athletic. The only thing that he didn't mention was who would be starting at goalie. Do you think it's going to be Montembeault or Jake Allen?
So, look, coaches like to go with this veteran thing. It's kind of a respect thing. But Montembeault showed me last year that he deserves the opportunity. And I don't know if he's going to get the opportunity out of the gate and he'll be defined as the number one, or the coach will say, play it out. But if they do play it out, and if it's a fair fight, I believe that Montembeault will come out on top. It's possible. Jake Allen's not done by any stretch of the imagination. It's possible that Allen, after having a so-so season, at times lackluster, bounces back. It's possible. But I think that Montembeault is ready to take the next step. I don't know how high his ceiling is.
I completely agree.
Yeah, this kid's got something. He's a fighter. He's a fighter. He's a gamer, this kid. I like this kid. Mi piace questo qua. Questo è un bravo guaglione, voglio.
Yeah, of course. And they keep saying that Mike Hoffman or Sean Monahan as trade chips before the trade deadline. But I think Jake Allen is also a great trade chip. Like, I believe you can get some value out of him.
Yeah. Listen, I'm sure you're right. And if I can, I even though you're asking me, so I'd like to respond to Mark D 699, who says, "Who are you kidding, Tony?" He's another Jocelyn Thibault. Hey, Mark, I didn't come on the Sick Podcast and say that Samuel Montembeault is the next Vladislav Tretiak. Did I? Did I say that he's the next Marty Brodeur? Did I say that he's the next Dominic Hasek? Did I say that he's the next Patrick Roy? Did I say that he's the next Roberto Luongo? No, 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 and no. I said he took a step forward last year. I think he's able to take another one. I don't know what his ceiling is, but he's a fighter and he's a gamer. I don't need you to tell me that Samuel Montembeault is not elite. I know that. I figured that out a long time ago. But you know what? Jake Allen isn't any of those goalies either. And I was asked who I think is going to be the number one goalie. And I think that if it's a fair fight, I believe Montembeault will come out on top. I'm not telling you that Montembeault is beating out Patrick Roy here, right? I'm telling you that I think he's going to beat out Jake Allen. Capisci tu? You understand me? Capisci? No? Capito?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. Capito tu? Capito, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, as I said, I believe they can trade Allen. Huh? I believe his last year on contract will be next season. So why not move him now? Why wait until then?
You're gonna
or by the deadline.
You're always gonna wait to the deadline to try and up the average as much as you can. Appreciate you taking the call. Ask Tony anything, says Tony. Would you agree to 5 3-minute rounds with protective gear, of course, for charity against Connor McKenna to raise money for charity? Sure, why not? I'll do anything to raise money for charity. Others coming in. Lancer says, love the podcast, Tony. Thank you very much. King Shark says, Montembeault and get Levi from Buffalo, and you'll have a powerhouse in a couple of years. Yeah, as if Buffalo wants to give away Devin Levi right away. Devin Levi was pretty good. Tony, I still love your Ron Fournier attitude. This coming in for Mark, D699. Mark, I think that when I started working in radio, I think that Ron Fournier was still refereeing. Is that possible? Is that possible? Let's look it up, okay? Ron Fournier. Can somebody tell me when Ron Fournier retired from working in the National Hockey League? I'd love to know. In 1987, Ron Fournier became a radio host. Oh, look at that. I thought he retired after that. Puppy. Ron was very good. Used to enjoy listening to Ron. Stefan says he started in 85. As per Wikipedia, he started in 87. Tony Slavkovsky, over or under 40 points? I would say just around there. Tony, who are the 6 defensemen this year? Well, Matheson and Savard. Those are the easy ones. Kovacevic, Jackeye, Matheson, Savard, Kovacevic, Jackeye. Those for sure. No? Don't you think? Matheson's the number 1 defenseman on the team. I don't see any players who weren't on the team last year making the team this year. Not on defense anyway. So Matheson, Savard, Jackeye, Kovacevic, Caden Gooley, of course. I think the other guy is going to be Jordan Harris. But Arpin Basu, when asked about, the logjam of defensemen at one point, who would be available for a trade, he says he doesn't see where Jordan Harris can fit in one day. And because of the excess defensemen the Canadiens have on the left side, I would tend to agree. And I would think that at one point, Jordan Harris might be available. But there's a lot that could change between now and then, for sure. Remy from Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu.
Oui.
Comment ça va, Rémi?
Ah, ça va bien.
Ah oui, et Rémi, dans le temps, là, moi, j'allais au Super 9.
À Richelieu? Oui.
Ben oui, à Richelieu. Oui, à Richelieu. Ça existe-tu encore, ça? Rémi, are you still there?
Non. Mais ça fait trop longtemps que je parlais d'un bon.
Oui, moi aussi, ça fait longtemps. Mais ça existe encore, tu penses, ou quoi?
Je pense que l'emplacement est encore là, mais c'est sous un autre nom.
Sur un autre nom, hein? Ah, OK.
Ouais.
OK, sur un autre nom. Dans le temps, il y avait la belle Monique qui travaillait là. Comprends-tu? La belle Monique. Ben oui. Rémi, what's going on? Moi, j'avais dit à la belle Monique, Monique, tu sais. T'es donc bien belle, mais si tu veux passer la soirée avec moi, là, prends un numéro puis attends ton tour. C'est ça que j'ai dit, là. Mais elle n'a pas pris de numéro, donc c'est fini comme ça.
Non.
Tell me, Rémi, what's going on, my man?
Une question, c'est que comment les règlements marchent pour transférer de LNH à OHL? Avec, prenons exemple, Armia. Est-ce que c'est faisable? C'est quoi le règlement pour? Parce que, honnêtement, je peux vivre avec encore pour une autre saison, avec deuxième, troisième ligne, fois de temps en temps sa première pour le promoter. Aucun problème avec ça. Le problème, Armia, il est fade. Il n'y a pas d'entraînement, il n'y a pas d'entraînement, mais il n'y a pas d'entrain, on voit rien de lui.
Ouais.
C'est ça qui est plate.
So what for the benefit of our Anglophone viewers, what Remy is asking is basically Armia. He's got a lot of frustration towards Armia. He doesn't see a consistent effort. He doesn't see him play with a lot of passion or energy. And he's wondering, can Armia make his way to the KHL? Remy, Armia has 2 years left contract in the National Hockey League. And if the Montreal Canadiens would want to send him to the KHL, at that point, you know what? The only way that they can do so, this guy would have to be bought out. They'd have to pay him because as long as he has a contract, they cannot transfer him to another league. He's not a free agent. He's not available. So they'd have to buy out his contract. At
American Hockey League.
Oh, the American Hockey League. Pardon me.
Yeah,
I understood
American Hockey League.
I understood the KHL, not the AHL. Well, they can look. I'm gonna look into it, but I don't see why they can't send them down to the American Hockey League. But he'd have to clear waivers. If I Remy, look. So I'm going to give you an example, right? So if I go Yoel Armia, and you go to Cap Friendly, which by the way is a very, very good website. And if you haven't marked it already, I believe you should. Okay. When you go to Cap Friendly, you can go by teams. Okay. You can go by teams. And if I go with the Montreal Canadiens, Cap Friendly, I have the entire roster in front of me. Their terms of their contract, their positions, their status, when they were acquired, their age, their cap percentage, everything. Okay.
For the next
exactly. Perfect. Okay. Yoel Armia does not have a no movement clause. If he would have, they cannot send him down to the American Hockey League. So he has no terms to his clause. So they can send him down. They can send him down. And at that point, he'd have to clear waivers, of course. And if he does clear waivers, you're paying him his $3.4 million in the American Hockey League. That's it. Thank you, Remy. On to another call. Merci beaucoup, Remy. I've always wanted to do kind of like a bilingual show, at times a trilingual show, and sometimes maybe even speak 4 languages on the show. Why not? Me gusta mucho hablar español. Or maybe even 5 languages. Falar português. Rick and Brassard. And the beauty of podcasts is that there are no rules. There's no program director here coming in. You can do this. You can't do that. You can do this. You can't do that. Nobody coming in saying, we got to go to break. We got to pay the bills. Commercial. Then all of a sudden you're in for 10 minutes. You're out. Commercial. You're back 6-7 minutes later. And then commercial again. You're back on for 10 minutes. Then commercial again, 6-7 minutes. No, over here. Anything goes. Anything goes. Rick is in Brassard. Rick, what's going on?
Hi, Tony. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. I appreciate it.
De rien. I have a couple of questions for you. The first question is, do you think one day that Gallagher going to be tradable or he's going to be a buyout?
So if I look into my crystal ball,
yes,
is Gallagher going to be tradable? Brendan Gallagher has, if memory serves me well, 4 years left on a contract that pays him $6.5 million per season. Exactly. You'll correct me if I'm wrong.
Exactly.
Now, I actually had Cap Friendly open here a minute ago, so let me go see. Brendan Gallagher, $6.5 million per season. That's correct. He's going to become a UFA after that. There's only one way that Brendan Gallagher becomes tradable. There's a couple of years left on his contract. And the Montreal Canadiens go out and they acquire a quote-unquote player with a very bad contract from another team.
Okay.
In exchange for Gallagher. So, for example, you have another team who regrets a contract to another player that's also $5.8, $5.9, $6 million. And you basically just decide to, you know what? Okay, he's not working out there. Yours isn't working out there. Let's trade and let's see if they can, restart their careers or jumpstart their careers by a change of scenery. That could be the case. That could be the case. Having said that, we also have to understand that Brendan Gallagher has a modified no trade clause, no move clause. So the player submits a 6-team no trade list. So it's possible. It's possible. But based on what we know and Gallagher's injury history over the past couple of years, I, for one, wouldn't be surprised if there would be some kind of long-term injury situation at one point. And that's the way Gallagher, yeah, and that's and Shea Weber, and that's the way his time would end with the Canadiens. You know what?
Okay.
I really hope he can prove almost everyone wrong at this point, because let's face it, no one thinks that Gallagher is going to be able to go back to being
a 30-goal scorer.
Not a 30-goal scorer, but I don't even think there's a lot of people that think he can go back to being a 20-goal scorer. And I hope for him that he can, because unfortunately, one of the shames with professional sports is that sometimes our memories of an athlete or a player are the final times that we see them. And Brendan Gallagher scored over 30 goals a couple of times. And Brendan Gallagher was drafted in the 5th round or whatever it was. And a lot of people didn't think Brendan Gallagher was going to make the National Hockey League. And he went on to have a great career. But unfortunately, everyone now is just looking at his contract, looking at his production and saying, this is not good. But the reality is that Brendan Gallagher so far has had himself a very, very good career. And you know what? I'm pulling for him. Hopefully, Gally can become tradable, says Giovanni Mortellaro. Thank you, Giovanni. If Gallagher's somewhat healthy and scores 15, that's fine, says Tony Prigioniero. Thank you to Tony Prigioniero. And thank you very much for taking the time to call me. That was Rick and Brassard. The phone lines are open at 1-888-585-SICK, 1-888-585-7425. How many people right now in Montreal are talking sports and they're taking your calls? Me. I am. Me. I'm Montreal Sports Authority. I'm Marinaro. We'll get to your questions. Peter is in Verdun. I was there 2 weeks ago. I went to visit my friend Dan Lomanto at Bosa. Have you ever been to Bosa before? I don't know why tonight I'm giving everyone free plugs. I'm in one of these good moods. I'm giving everyone the airtime. I'm even giving Bosa plugs. Do they need it? No. They sell like 250 sandwiches a day, but I'm in one of those good moods, and they gave me a free creme cafe, so I'm going to give them a plug tonight. Have you ever been to Bosa before?
Like a rock star, I saw you coming out the back of Bosa.
You saw me coming out the back?
The back door of Bosa, like a rock star, because I was at the barbershop store, and I said to you, you're the man.
Peter, what can I tell you? I like going in through the back door. What can I say?
Always, brother, the Monix and all.
Hey, I don't know what you're alluding to. I like to go in through to avoid the lineup in the front. You understand? Avoid the lineup in the front. I remember you now, but hold on a second. This is what you're talking about, that you're the barber next door, and you saw me going through the back door. You're going back a couple of years now, are you not?
Before COVID, yeah.
Yeah. No, this is a good 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Have you had the steak and pepperoni sandwich there, by the way?
What's that?
I beg your pardon?
I beg your pardon?
Come again? Have you had the steak and pepperoni sandwich at Bosa before on Wellington Street? By the way, they not only have one on Wellington, they have one on Masson in Rosemont, Petit Patrie.
One.
And the timeout.
That new place, that food court that everybody's talking about.
The Eaton Center food court, the timeout food court.
There you go. Yeah.
Naturally. Have you had steak? Have you had? Yes.
Like everybody else, and they've succeeded because of the love of food. And if you know Danny, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. I know Danny. Yeah. They do what they do best. They love to make food. I do what I do best. I love to eat it.
Yeah, so do I.
Have you had the steak and pepperoni before?
I've had everything on that freaking menu downstairs with everybody in the staff.
Yeah.
Great
so
time.
you had the porchetta. You had the porchetta pesto aioli. You had the steak and pepperoni. You had the chicken cutlet with La Bomba and marinated eggplants.
Oh, La Bomba. They make their own bread, Tony.
Yes. No, they don't.
They do.
No, they pick up their bread at San Pietro's.
Bread is specially made for Bossa.
Yeah, I understand that. Especially made for a couple of places. They get it from San Pietro. It's 175 grams. Don't talk to me about food. I know absolutely everything there is to know.
You don't need to go there, Tony.
I know everything.
I know you do.
Tell me, what's going on? The only thing I don't know is which numbers are coming out this weekend. The bread is incredibly light, by the way.
Days of summer, even in the dog days of summer, you're
the
best.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Can we look at duos, the top 3 duos that had chemistry last year?
I think I deserve a vacation, and Agnello and Sammy don't want me to take vacation. Not yet, they said. Not yet. The show right now, what they told me is we have momentum.
That's right.
So we have momentum.
Tony, you're investing in the future of that whole sick podcast franchise.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Can't go anywhere.
I'd rather be investing in apartments right about now. But Roberto Simoniello says, Tony, for the mayor of the city. As a matter of fact, I refuse to go into politics. This is a story, by the way, that I've never shared. I don't even know why I'm going there right now. No one has ever asked me. But at one point, I came this close to going into politics. Very, very close. Very close. Maybe next time, someone's going to ask me, and I'll share the story. Go ahead. Peter, what are we talking about here? You called all of a sudden. We're done. I'm bringing up Bosa. You're the barber, the back door, here, there, everywhere. Yeah.
Danny to open up the store, get some sandwiches to come over. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I called Danny. Danny, prepare me a couple of sandwiches. He set me up outside. There was a picnic table and everything. My God, what a meal we had. It was unbelievable.
That's right.
You know that we've been talking about Bosa now for the last 3 or 4 minutes, and between you and I, like we both know, they don't need the advertising, because if you go there at around 11 o'clock in the morning, there's about 100 people waiting in the store, between the store and outside. You go there at 12, it's the same thing. You go there at 1. You know what I think, though? Even having said all of that, I believe that I deserve a VIP card. And I should have sandwiches on the house, at least 1, well, 2, I bring one home for my son. 2 sandwiches per day for the rest of my life. I think that would be a good deal where everyone wins.
Do I call Danny's dad and have him send you a VIP card?
For life. 2 sandwiches per day.
For life.
For life.
For life.
And let's be honest, if I keep on going the way I'm going, I'm not going to have a long life anyway. But hopefully not. Hey, so what's on your mind, Peter? Peter, how are you? Nice to talk to you again. I haven't seen you in so long. It's 2 years. Why don't you ask Danny for my number? Let's go out. Give me a haircut. Do something. Get me excited about the project. What's going on, Peter?
T.
Yeah.
Were Evans and Gallagher a good duo last year?
Were Evans and Gallagher a good duo? They are an appropriate 4th-line duo.
4th line?
4th line, yes.
Okay, let's look at the duos. We know.
Hold on a second. Are you trying to tell me that Evans? Are you trying to tell me that Evans is better than a 4th-line player right now in the National Hockey League?
No. I'm just trying to.
Would you put him ahead of Suzuki? No. Would you put him ahead of Dvorak? No. Would you put him ahead of Monahan? No. Would you put him ahead of Kirby Dach? No. Would you put him ahead of Newhook? No.
Let's take a look. Did Dach have chemistry with Anderson last year?
Dach had his best chemistry playing right wing on a line with Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. Will you allow me to take 2 seconds to go get? 1 second. Will you allow me to take 2 seconds to go get myself a cold coffee?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 1 second, please.
Go.
Sammy. We can't get Sammy or Juliana. No, 1 second. I'm just going to go. It's very important because the coffee is what gives me the kick. Do you understand? Hold on a second.
Go for it. Oh, damn. So, guys, you guys all enjoying the show? Tony's going to get a coffee. We're talking about sandwiches, and we're gonna be discussing duos. So, I'm just trying to figure out how we can slot in 3 duos and then work the top 3 lines from there. And God knows how much espresso Tony's
Yeah.
going to put in. So here we roll. Here we go.
Yeah, I want to show you something. You ready?
Ready.
See that? That's the Bosa tomato jar, where I usually go pick up the rosé sauce.
Damn.
Okay? See rosé?
Yeah,
So this, I use it, my cold coffee with the skew on top. You understand some of that cream? Watch this.
Of course. Look at that. That's pure mocha gold. Look at, oh yeah. Shake it, baby. Shake it. Shake it. Oof,
Look at this.
Look at that foam. Pour it
Look
like
at
I know it. Pour it nice and slow.
Oh, stop here now with the shake it and the shake it and the shake it. Mozitumo. Look at this. Look at this, huh?
Dude,
Okay.
cheers to you, buddy.
What's going on now? Anything else we want to talk about here? What are we talking about here? You're talking to me about duos.
I don't know. We're talking about sandwiches. We're talking about yeah. Okay, so let's say
The best duo right now is Stéphane from Quebec Cité, 66 spinning. When he gets together with José Lavec, and I put them both together on the Sick Podcast. That is one of the best duos in town, right there.
damn.
Peter, I'll come get a haircut one day when I'm in Verdun. I'll talk to you soon. I gotta go.
Anytime.
Peter in Verdun.
Cheers. Be good.
That's the longest call in the history of podcasts. I had him on for like 11 minutes. I gave his barbershop a plug. I don't know how many times. Steve is in Calgary. Steve, what's going on? Steve, you there? Steve, are you there? Steve. Steve's not there. We got to run. 1-888-585-SICK. 1-888-585-7425. By the way, you see this? This is my own very own concoction. I call it cold coffee. La fine del mondo, voglio. Where are we going? I think Steve heard the infomercial and he went for a sandwich. Steve, are you there? Steve.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm well. Were you doing something or?
Oh no, I'm just waiting for you. I was just sitting here waiting and watching the TV with no sound on.
Steve, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Calgary.
Oh, and what do you want to talk about?
Well, let's see. You showed the lineups there for the four lines, and the first two look good, and then from there, you got Slapkowski down in the third line. You kind of like to see some better support for him.
Okay, so
I'm not a fan of Gallagher. I'm not a fan. I like Armia. I hope they can get rid of him as quickly as possible.
All right. Let me just write this down. Steve is in Calgary, and he wants to talk about the lines. And I would imagine you want to talk to Tony Marinaro?
Oh yes, because I've been watching him for so long, and
yeah,
the guy is extremely good looking, and I wish I was that good looking.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to be happy to hear that. We're just going to take one quick poll before we put you on. Where would you rank the Sick Podcast right now out of all hockey podcasts in the country?
Well, you and Chris Nyland are the only two.
Tony Marinaro and Chris Nyland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Chris Nyland, I think, might be a little better looking than Tony Marinaro.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Steve, you want to talk about you want to talk about the lines? Let's talk about the lines. Thank you for that, Steve. By the way, I appreciate it.
I really enjoy your program, and
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Listen to you on the radio and all that. So
yeah, radio is never.
You're the best. You're the best.
I thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate that, and I agree with you 100%. All right, okay. So look, let me ask you something. So who do you see on the lines? Because I'm going to tell you this. This is what I'm going to tell you. I'm in the minority. Because I would want to see Hoffman and Monahan taking turns playing with the duo of Slafkovsky, of Suzuki and Caulfield. Why? Because I want them to pick up points, because I want the Montreal Canadiens to be able to dangle them at the deadline and get as much as they can. Do I think it's going to go down that way? I do not. I don't think it's going to go down that way.
No, I don't.
I think the 3 or 4 guys that are going to end up playing with them this year, I think there's going to be 4 or 5 guys playing with them. I think at one point you're going to see Anderson. I think at one point you're going to see Doc. I think at one point you're going to see Newhook. I think at one point you're going to see Slavkowski. And I wouldn't even be surprised if at one point you're even going to see Raphael Harvey Pinard.
Well, yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I can agree with you there. I think they'll try a few different players on the number 1 line.
He was good last year,
and
when they gave him a shot, he was very good.
And I really hope that Cole Caulfield can play a whole season. We'll see how many goals he can get.
If Cole Caulfield can have one of my cold coffees before every game, I predict minimum 40 goals. Steve, you sound like a good guy to me. And what I love most about you is your honesty and your talent evaluation. Thank you very much, Steve. We'll talk to you soon. Steve knows what
take care and all the best.
You too. You take care too. What a good guy. So polite. It's unbelievable. Are we sure he's from Calgary, not from the Maritimes or from Newfoundland or whatever? Because those are really the most polite. I'm sure there's some polite people in Calgary too. But back to the phone lines we go at 1-888-585-SICK, 1-888-585-7425 on the Sick Podcast on this Monday, July 31st at 10:52 p.m. talking about the Montreal Canadiens who played their last game of the regular season on April 13th. And we're talking about everything here tonight. Everything. My coffee, sandwiches, the guy's barbershop, Steve, my looks, the evaluation, anything. And you can ask me anything, by the way. I'll answer anything you ask. Anything. I'll answer it. Pierre is in Arizona.
Yeah, hi, Tony. How are you today?
I'm very well. How are you?
Pretty good, thank you.
Do you know that Arizona is renowned for having one of the best clinics for back pain in all of North America, where they have specialists who specialize in fascial stretch therapy? They're one of the few clinics in the world that has that. Did you know that?
Okay. No, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, now you know, because there's a couple of specialists here over at Optimal Stretch Clinic at 4710 St. Ambroise in Point St. Charles that I go see regularly. Sam and Charlie. As a matter of fact, my wife went to see Charlie this morning, and they have this specialization. They have it in Toronto, and they also have it in Arizona. Not the same company, different people that do it, of course. But anyway, that's the thing. What's going on in Arizona right now, my man? What's going on?
Well, very warm. Let's just put it that way.
Really, eh?
Breaking heat records out here. The warmest I've seen in the 21 years I've been living here. Yeah.
Wow. How warm are we talking?
I moved down here in 2002.
Yeah.
From the West Island. Yeah.
Oh, really? You happy with that move?
Yeah. I mean, I go back to Montreal twice a year, so I got to admit I do miss Montreal quite a bit.
Yeah, but I bet you don't miss it in January, February, March.
No, I don't. No.
Nah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Yeah.
But Montreal, home is always home, right, Pierre? I mean, look,
exactly.
I'm sure you enjoy the dry air in Arizona. You enjoy the desert. You enjoy your golf, and you enjoy your weather. But at the end of the day, home is always home. You know, and
that's right.
Some people have it in them to leave, and personally, I never wanted to leave. You know, I had opportunities to leave, but no, this is where I wanted to raise the family, and now that they're raised, now they took off on me. It's a crazy thing, but anyway, it is what it is. Yeah.
I mean, my kids, they've got their own families now, and
I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, they're staying here, so yeah.
What's going on?
I wanted to talk to you about when the Habs were really strong in the heydays. Basically, they always built their team from the back end, and then last thing was the front end. Right? They always had strong defense and good goaltending and stuff like that.
The big three.
Yeah, the big three, exactly.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that with the new management are they going the same way?
I don't think so. I really don't.
Think so.
No, and I understand why. I understand why you're thinking this. All right, you're thinking this because with the 5th pick in a draft stacked with offensive players, they drafted a defenseman.
Yeah.
And if you're, and you're right to think this. It makes sense. If this is your logic here, it makes sense. But I'm going to tell you this. Take a look at one of the first moves that Kent Hughes made. It was to trade Romanov.
Yeah.
To go out and then make a move to get Kirby Dach. What I believe that this management team has a belief that they're going to need a balanced team to win.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that they're going to put their priorities on skill at the forward position, hockey IQ at the forward position, a lot of depth at center.
Okay.
Very good puck-moving defenseman, and less reliant on goaltending of all 3 positions between forward, defense, and goaltending. This is the way I see it. I could be wrong. Okay. To answer your question, no, I think they have a preference for offense. And I think Marty St. Louis has a preference for offense. Think about it. The guy they hired to coach this team is Marty St. Louis. Do you think Marty St. Louis wants to win games from the back? I think Marty St. Louis wants to win games with offense. And that doesn't mean it can't come from the defense. It can, for sure, 100%. Yeah. And Lane Hudson scored an unbelievable goal, by the way, earlier tonight at the Summer Series Junior Showcase or whatever it's called. Hold on a second. I made no. What was it called again? The World Junior Summer Showcase is what it was called. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, goaltending wise, though, I feel that position, I understand that what you said, but I still think that that position is neglected. Good goaltending is still necessary. Without good goaltending, you're not going to go very far.
Well, what you need, Pierre, of course you need good goaltending in the playoffs. If your goalie doesn't make the saves in the playoffs, you're not winning a series. It's over, right? But I think, you know what's more important than a great goalie? A goalie who ends up being hot and plays great in the playoffs. You understand what I'm getting at? So take a look at the last couple of years and take a look at the teams that have won the Stanley Cup. Is it the teams with the best goalie that won the Stanley Cup? Or is it the teams whose goalie got hot in the playoffs and actually ended up beating some teams who had better goalies? Like, everyone can say that Vasilevsky won the Stanley Cup a couple of years ago, which is true. But a year later, he also lost to Darcy Kemper.
Yeah, true enough.
And this year, okay, the Vegas Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup. And I bet you that even though that cup came out, in the middle of June, I bet you that half the people on this chat right now don't even remember the goalie's name for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, he was a rookie, wasn't he? The goalie.
He was called up. He was like their 4th string goalie or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know, who would have thought that if I would have told you at the beginning of the season that, you know what, Vegas is going to win the cup, who their goalie would have been. But to answer your question, he's a guy who played his first games for the Vegas Golden Knights this year, but he's been playing NHL games for the last 6 or 7 years, but a couple of games here and there. And by the way, guess where he started out his NHL career?
Where was that?
In your backyard, man, in Arizona.
Oh, in Arizona? Okay.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Ben oui, mon chum.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Nice to talk to you. All the best to you, eh?
Okay. Yeah, likewise.
You sound like a really good guy to me. Pierre in Arizona. Call back anytime. Hey, listen. I was gonna say, if I ever make my way down to Arizona one day, can we hang out? But Sammy at Master Control, just hang up. Sammy says I can take one more call. By the way, before I said I can do what I want, when I want, how I want, and now Sammy's telling me I could take one more call and then that's it. So forget about that. Throw that out the window. One more call. Hello, where are we going here exactly? Marc-André.
Marc-André, ici. Comment ça va, Tony?
Ça va bien, toi?
Not too bad, man. Enjoying the Vancouver weather, relaxing as much as I can.
Really? Do you live in Vancouver?
I do live in Vancouver, yeah. Originally from Moncton, moved here 11 years, and like I say, en bon français, no marde blanche, so I'm quite happy with that.
Okay, so listen, I'm going to tell you something. I visited Vancouver for the first time back in the month of October.
This year?
Back in 2022. So, and I didn't get to see it all. I was there for about 4 or 5 days, but man, did I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a different animal when you look at Canada in general. Like, I've been in Montreal, I've been in Toronto, I've been in every major city. There's just something about the lifestyle of living in Vancouver that changes perspective.
Vancouver is a beautiful city. You're right. What's going on, my man? What's on your mind?
Well, I always enjoy talking with you because I've talked with you a couple of times actually on TSN 690, and I do like how you're upfront and always direct about what you like to say.
Thank you very much.
With the Hoffman situation and Armia, which
and they just got a plug, by the way, and they just got a plug.
Yeah, but I understand your point. It's all about asset management, and in terms of we all want to think we're good armchair GMs and all that. As fans, I always want to think that, like, you know what? Plug them both in the AHL. They haven't done anything to deserve the chance to be in the lineup. And you know what? They were free. They never cost us anything.
No.
Just plug them out there and let the kids play. I honestly really want to see Sean Farrell play more than anybody else.
He's not ready. He's not ready, Marc-André. Il est pas prêt, là. He's not ready.
No, I know he's not ready, but players have in the past showed if they can play, they have their place where they want to be.
Yes, but Marc-André,
not the greatest hockey program in the world.
Yeah,
but the good players have come out of Harvard.
I understand that, but Marc-André, there are steps in development, and although there are players. Look at Patrice Bergeron, for example, right? He went from junior hockey his draft year. He was drafted 45th in the second round, and boom, as an 18-year-old, he made the Boston Bruins. He never played a game of American Hockey League after. Never. And he had a long 20-year illustrious career in the National Hockey League. He won 6 Selke trophies, all that stuff, went to 3 finals, won a Stanley Cup in 2011. But for the most part, there are development steps. And if Farrell's not ready, you're better off making sure that he goes through all those development steps and the pathways. So I understand what you're saying. You're saying just put him out there. But what if the player ends up getting hurt because he's not ready? And you know what? It almost happened. And I know it's almost, and it almost happened with Slafkowski on a couple of occasions where he got tagged 3 or 4 times. And I tend to think that Slafkowski was lucky that he didn't suffer 1 or 2 concussions. Do we want that happening with Sean Farrell? No. He's got a career ahead of him. Let's take our time. I understand you're excited. He's a prospect and he has a lot of talent, but let's just take our time. As they said once upon a time, they said on the Flintstones, nice and slow. See, that's the way.
And I want Montreal to slow their process. The one thing I've hated is they've always rushed them too fast, and I kind of wish Slafkowski would be in the AHL, to be honest.
Yeah,
but Sean Farrell is also one of the older prospects at 21. He should be graduating from Harvard. So it's either after this year, he takes the next steps and goes pro, or he even tries out of this year, show a good development camp. And then when he finishes college year, if there's a roster slot open because Armia and Hoffman are not taking spots, he can go up and down the lineup. Yes, Yolinen can actually have chances to play as well.
Yeah.
I want to see that because
I understand
now, and I think we all I'm with you. Montreal's not making the playoffs.
I don't see it, Marc-André.
No, it's fine. Everybody
non lo vedo sta situazione qua, capisci tu? Non lo vedo, je le vois pas. Je vois pas ça, moi. Je vois pas ça. But more
Non, je
importantly,
comprends bien.
Ben oui,
J'aimerais voir des gars quand même jouer 10 games au moins.
ben oui, je comprends. Mais plus important encore, est-ce que tu écoutes encore cette station-là de radio depuis un an?
J'ai arrêté d'écouter depuis que tu as débarqué.
Tu as du goût, toi. Toi, tu connais ça, là. Toi, t'es sharp, là. Toi, t'es fort, là. Toi, t'as une bonne oreille pour le talent. T'as une bonne oreille, t'as une bonne vision pour le talent. Toi, t'es sharp, là. Marc-Andre, you have become one of my favorite callers in the short history of the Sick Podcast. Sammy, at Master Control, is there any way that, Sammy, you can get on while I'm talking to Marc-Andre? Is there any way here? There's no way, he tells me. Sammy, I need to get Marc-Andre a sick cap. Marc-Andre, you wear caps in Vancouver?
I try not to wear caps because I like my hair, but I won't.
Oh, you like your hair? You want a t-shirt or a hoodie instead? What do you want? A t-shirt or a hoodie? What do you want exactly?
Tony, I'm not self. I'll take anything you guys would offer me. I was not even expecting this. I was just waiting to be like.
No. But you said you said some very, very important things tonight. You said some very important things, and you said what everyone's thinking. But anyway, you came out and you said it. I want you to do this. I want you to email info@thesickpodcast.com with your phone number. Email info@thesickpodcast.com. In the subject field, write Marc-Andre from Vancouver. Write your number, and then tell us your size for a shirt or a hoodie and your address, and we're going to get it out to you because you have become, Marc-Andre, one of my favorite callers in the history of the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro. I want you to know.
I feel actually really humbled about this. Thank you, Tony, because I still remember our last conversation.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, was about Drouin. And of course, he was always a hot topic. So it kind of feels like the same type of conversation again.
You're a good man. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. All the best. That's Marc-Andre in Vancouver. That's it. I decided to go solo at 10 o'clock tonight. I called Sammy Cavallaro at Master Control. I said, Sammy, I'm going solo. Open up the phone lines. I'm going to get to the comments. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I think I pulled it off. And Marc-Andre got himself a sweater. Now, what did I do? I created a monster because everyone's going to email us asking for a sweater. But you know what? Hold on a second. 66 spinning. Sammy, did you give me 5 minutes live to close the caller's night? No. We got to do that. Sammy, let's bring up Sammy. Sammy, you there?
We're here.
Sammy and Juliana, what's going on?
Not much. You?
We're doing very, very good. You know what? This is so much more enjoyable than when your father's there and he never smiles. Look at Juliana. What a beautiful smile. It's unbelievable, really. Lighting up the entire show. Okay. Are you guys tired or not?
We're good.
You're good? If we go another 5-10 minutes, are we good?
Yeah, that's fine.
We're not supposed to, but hold on a sec. How can we pull this off? 66 spinning. You remember Stéphane in Quebec Cité?
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants to join me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do we still have his email that we can email him the link? Do we have his email?
I don't know if we have it.
You don't know if...
We have to check.
Yeah. And would I be making a huge mistake by actually copying the link right now and pasting it onto our chat? How crazy would that be?
Yeah, I wouldn't, just in case.
Yeah, you wouldn't, eh?
No.
What's the worst that can happen?
He can put his email, but I don't know if he feels comfortable.
He can put his email and we would email him?
Yeah.
Why don't I just put the link? Okay. Let's do something crazy tonight.
Okay.
Let me put the link. And if it's not 66 spinning who's going to click on it, it's going to be somebody else. What's the worst that can happen?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll wait and find out.
Okay, hold on a second. Here we go. So I'm going to chat. I'm going to put, oh my God, I just did it. Look at this. that we're going to break the internet tonight. There we go. I just text out the link. Bobby's got it. Sammy runs the whole organization, he says. I just put the link out on our YouTube Live. Let's see if 66 Spinning will copy and paste the link and then join us live on the Sick Podcast. Marc-Andre is going to email you guys at info@thesickpodcast.com.
Yeah.
We got to get him a shirt or a hoodie.
That's fine.
Yeah. He says he hasn't listened to he hasn't listened since I left.
We don't see the link in the chat, Tony.
There's no link?
No.
Well, look, on Tony Marinaro, it's there. It's just that you have to copy and paste it. It's right there. I just
Everyone's saying there's no link, and we don't see it either.
You don't see it either?
No.
How are we going to do this?
But we can do it from here.
You can do it from there? Okay, you put the link. Hold on a second. You guys take over, put the link. I'm going to be back. What do you think about it? Hold on. What do you think?
Yeah, looks great. Should be your new look.
I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
The coffee's kicking in.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight.
I'm back. Oh, that was good. We put the with the music on. S-I-C-K on the run. Okay, listen. We have him?
Yeah, we have him. We're gonna
Wow, that was fast. Stéphane. Guarda qua. Guarda sta bellezza qua.
Salut Tony, comment ça va?
Hey, check-moi ça, cette chandail-là. C'est quoi, là? Montre-moi ça, là. What? Oh, Simonac, les Capitals de Washington.
Ouais, the classic of Winter Classic. I think it's the Capitals against the Bruins 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay,
maybe more, yes.
Okay. Tu parles d'un classique. You want to see what I got right here?
No.
Speaking of the Washington Capitals, I'm going to show you. Give me a second, okay? 1 second. No, go sideways with your phone. You're starting to get me dizzy over here. Go sideways with the phone there. Stéphane, you jammed up or what? Take the Wi-Fi off and go on data. So Stéphane asks us to save the last goal. Okay, so Stéphane.
Yes.
It's not rocket science here. I'm not asking you to put someone on the moon, okay? I'm asking you to take your phone, put it sideways, and you and I, we look at each other and we chat, okay?
Yes.
You should be used to this. You're probably on Tinder, right? You don't connect on the phone ever.
No.
You don't do web. You don't do webcam and stuff like that on the phone, or what? You don't do that? No.
No. I'm on YouTube with you.
You're on YouTube with me.
Each night
Okay.
at 10.
Yes, every night at 10 o'clock. You're right about that. Wait 1 second. I have something to show you. Okay, hold on. So you have your Washington Capitals jersey, right?
Yes.
I have this.
I have the same number on my back. Ovechkin. Yes.
What do you think of that? What do you think of this?
It's a great picture. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what else I have. In his second season, I was at a press conference from CCM, and they gave me a prototype of one of the skates that Alex Ovechkin, a CCM skate. Stefan, but with this phone, you're getting me dizzy. Mi stai facendo incitrolire, mo. Was it too, mo? What's going on? He jammed up again? Is this a joke or what? What's going on? Why is he making this so complicated, this thing with the phone? This guy's making it complicated. DJ Vito V, how do we call? 1-888-585-7425. This is what we're going to do. Hold on a second.
Tony, do you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. This is what we're going to do. Hold on a second here. I know what we're going to do. Yeah. Are you, is José Lavec on tonight? Stéphane from Quebec City? José Lavec?
I think she is in ses vacances.
Because I've noticed that that when you're on the chat, I noticed that you ask about her all the time. You have some kind of infatuation going on or something.
But both we ask her when we are going to have the get together in Montreal that you talk about a few months, and she said that she is in vacation. At the end of July.
But you know what they say, Stefan. They say that the good things come to those who wait. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I like to tease. You understand? I'm a tease. I tease things.
You're a great teaser.
Thank you.
Great teaser.
Thank you.
Hey, Tony, can we close the door files?
Close the door?
Yes, the 28th of May. The guys is going to have to put a door in your basement. It's closed. It's a closed file.
My door is closed. In my basement, the door is closed. I had a door put in, and it's closed. There's the lock on and everything.
Did you take 28, 24, 28, or 30?
No. I took a 30-inch door.
Okay.
Yeah. But you, Stefan, the more you touch this camera, the more you're giving everyone vertigo. On behalf of the chat, you have to stop touching the camera because we're all getting dizzy at the same time.
Okay, but I can't. I touch just a little bit because I don't know what it's happened tonight. I lost the screen and I don't see you.
You lost the you don't have a tripod? Is that it or what? What's the story here?
No. The last time it's going very well, but I don't know tonight. Technology is like that. No?
Technology is like that. You know, there's a time in life when you have to touch, and there's a time where you don't touch. Me, I have a feeling that you want to touch all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will take a break. Hey, yesterday I'm going to the Alouettes game.
You went to the Alouettes? Hey, you know who I saw yesterday? It's funny you say that because yesterday I got together with the Vesperonis, and we met in Lachine, and we drove all the way up from Notre Dame through St. Henry, onto Old Montreal, downtown, up Saint Laurent Boulevard, made my way to Little Italy. And as I'm driving my Vespa, my beautiful, by the way, Vespa Primavera 2023, the all red model, which is a special edition, which I picked up at excelmoto.com, 5480 Pare. Go see their general manager, Vito Di Cosola, or go see Ali Hussein, the sales manager over at XL Moto. They took care of me. They can take care of you. All right? And so I'm driving, and all of a sudden we're driving in our wolf pack. You know, we're 4 or 5 people bunched up together. And all of a sudden I see someone from the corner of my eye. I say, stop. Anyway, they kept on going, but I'm the only one who stopped, and I pulled over. And as I pulled over, who did I see on the phone? And I looked at him, and he didn't recognize me because I had my helmet. And then when I took off my helmet, he looked at me like he saw royalty. I'm exaggerating that part of the story, by the way. Guess who I saw?
George?
Danny Machocha.
Oh, Danny Machocha.
Danny Machocha, yeah.
Before the game.
Before the game. It was a 7:30 game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I would say it was about 11:30 in the morning when I saw him.
But you know, that I'm from Quebec City, to going out the island last night, it was a nightmare.
Was a nightmare last night, eh?
Hey,
You know what's a nightmare? This phone moving all the time.
Quartier was closed. The tunnel, La Fontaine, just one way. Going to finally take the 40, it was incredible.
Yeah.
But the city of Montreal knows that because they put policemen everywhere in the city, in the street. Yes.
Now, Stefan, are you still? Hold on a second, Stefan. You know I love you, but I have to ask you a question. Are you still holding the phone in your hand?
Yes.
Stéphane, lâche le téléphone, Simonac.
Ouais, mais maudit, si je le bouge pas, je perds l'écran ce soir.
Tu perds l'écran, Mositumo. Mositu. So this is what we're going to do. You send us an email, info@the Sick Podcast. We're going to buy you a little tripod. Hold on a second. You see this?
Yes.
You see that?
Yes.
This is good. This is perfect for you. You understand? You see? It's got the 3 legs like that. Put it like that. You take your phone. O telefono. It locks. You put it like this. If you want, you turn it over like this, the way I'm asking you to do. You leave it there. There's no more vertigo for anyone. Nobody's getting dizzy. Nobody's complaining in the chat. It costs $24.99 at one of the big box stores. Do you want me to go on and get one for you tomorrow? I would be more than happy to.
I could buy it.
As long as they have change for 1,000, we're good at the store. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's it. I can send it. You have one?
No, I don't have one. But,
you're gonna go get one tomorrow?
I could buy one easily. I don't know. It was my battery. I don't know.
Listen, if you're gonna connect with Jose Levesque again on the FaceTime, I think it's important that you have one of those. In the meantime, it was a pleasure to talk to you. I'm gonna take one more call, and then I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna jump in my spa. And when I do, by the way, if you follow me on Instagram at official Tony Marinaro, you'll be able to see that I will be going outside in my spa. And I might even sing a song for all of you. Felice. Senti nell'aria c'è già la nostra canzone d'amore che va come un pensiero che sa di Stefani in Quebec, sì te. Questo innamorato di José e José non vuole sapere niente.
The last time we tried to sing this song with Peter the Coach Saint Luc, but
with Peter and Coach Saint Luc, yes.
Yes, but in trio it doesn't work.
Stefan, I gotta let you go because in a trio it won't work. We have one more call and then we're gonna let you go.
Okay.
I think we're going to a very, very important friend of mine. Someone I had the pleasure of working with for a very long time. There he is. Vito V. Vito V, what's going on?
Que honor, what an honor. Do you hear me well?
Yes, I hear you very well. As a matter of fact,
loud and clear.
Hold on a second. Can you, now you have a lot of experience in radio. For the longest time, you have been on Virgin Radio doing your thing late at night. So I know that you have the ability to host, okay? Can you host for 30 seconds? Can you do that for me?
Sure.
Okay. For 30 seconds, go on, say whatever you want. Talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay.
I'll be gone and I'm going to come back, okay?
You got it. Take
okay.
I wonder where he's off to. So I'm going to air a few grievances that I have with the Montreal Canadiens. I feel as though Mario Tremblay got off the hook really easy. Because if I had to choose between Patrick Waugh and Mario Tremblay, I would have chosen Patrick Roy, especially since he won 2 cups afterwards and came out as the greatest goalie of all time. But that's just me. We're going to ask Tony, because I've been wondering for a long, long time why they took Mario Tremblay's side over Patrick Roy's, and I'm still mad about this. This is from the early to mid 90s. To.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to get to rewind that on your own time. But my question is this. It's very simple.
But Vito, before you get to your question, it's very simple.
Yeah.
The reason why I went upstairs is because I received your wedding invitation, and I haven't been able to send it back yet. But here's the stamp.
Hide the address. Hide the address.
I'm hiding it, Vito. I'm hiding. I'm a man of experience, Vito. Look at the way I'm hiding it. Okay. And okay, Mr. I should fill it in right now. Okay, Mr. Tony Marinaro. Tony Marinaro. Vito, I was supposed to give you an answer before July 1st. It's July 31st. Will attend number again. Okay. Will attend.
I knew you were coming.
Yes. 1, dietary restrictions. I think it's safe to say that I don't have any. What do I put?
None. You do a 0 with a line through it, like in English.
I put a 0 with a line through it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 0 with a line through it. Okay. So now, seeing as I just gave you the answer live on the podcast,
yes,
that
sir.
I'm coming to your wedding, 1 person. Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And here you have it, the celebration of Stephanie and Vito on August the 19th. I'm going to be there. Do I still have to send you the invitation, or can we?
No.
Or can
no,
I kind of like hold on a second? Can I just send it over here?
That's on the next iPhone.
Who's better than you, Vito? Who's better than you? What do I owe this pleasure to, Vito V? What do I owe this pleasure to?
So I want to know something.
Yeah.
The Habs, the last time they won, I was in grade 5, I believe.
How many times did you do grade 5? Once, twice, or 3 times?
I did every grade once.
Wow, never failed.
Yeah, never.
And you're from the East End?
No.
No.
Let's okay. So listen.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mario Tremblay fired Patrick Roy.
No, he didn't fire him. He left him
You
in
know
net
what I
for
mean?
9 goals.
They got into a scrap and they got him traded, right?
Yeah.
But why didn't they just throw out Mario Tremblay? Why did they choose Mario Tremblay over Patrick Roy? This is what I want to know. Because for me personally, this guy should. I mean,
but let me ask you something. This happened. If memory serves me well, this game in question, that the Detroit Red Wings, I believe, beat the Montreal Canadiens.
Yes.
By a score of, I think that night it was 11-1.
Okay.
I think it was 9-1 at the time when they pulled Patrick Roy. I could be wrong, by the way, about the score. And I think it was December 2nd, 1995.
I'm sure you're right on everything.
I'm probably off on something. But Vito, it's July 31st of 2023. You're asking me about what happened in 1995, but are you behind 28 years, or what's the story with you here?
Well, here's the thing, Tom.
Yeah.
That's when they botched it.
That's when they botched it.
That's when the whole thing got botched.
Yeah, but Vito, if you botch something, Vito, but if someone botches something 28 years ago, but it's safe to say that 28 years later, you should be able to get it right, no? Like,
well, they haven't. So this is why I'm asking you the question. The reality is that they're still botched in a sense, and I'm trying to figure out.
Would you like a cold coffee with me, by the way? Because I have a Bikirin over here, and I have. Would you like a cold coffee with me?
I would love it. I would love it. Please.
Okay.
No sugar.
No sugar.
Anyhow,
Hold on a second. Yeah. Continue.
If they would have gotten rid of Mario Tremblay instead of Patrick Roy, I think we would have had a couple more cups. Or are we completely lost with this theory?
Which cup exactly, Vito? Which cup exactly?
He won 2 cups afterwards, Patrick Roy, right?
Yes, with the Colorado Avalanche.
That's right. You don't think he would have won another one with us with the Habs?
The tap wasn't closed, by the way. There's coffee flying everywhere. Hold on a second. Vito, this one is yours.
Thank you.
And this one is mine. Vito, to your health, okay? Chin chin, Vito.
Cheers.
Salud.
So thank you very much. Don't drink them both, please.
All the best to you and Stephanie in your wedding
Thank
day. I look
you,
forward to seeing you that night.
So
And the more food there is, the better it is.
Oh, don't worry about that.
I'll see you at the sweet table at midnight. Okay, what's going on now? So now, Vito, here's the deal.
Yeah.
2 years ago, the Canadiens made it to the Stanley Cup final, yes or no?
Yeah, but they made it, yeah. No, everyone knew they were going to lose.
And Muzzy too now.
Well, you thought they were going to win?
I was hoping they were going to win because I would have won $2,000 on them. And like an idiot, I didn't hedge my bet because I went with the whole carry price wave. And even though I knew they were going to lose, I didn't hedge my bet and they lost. That's why I'm still poor.
Nobody thought they were going to win.
I would agree with that.
And here's the other thing, Tom.
Yeah.
The Forum, they won 23 cups there.
Yeah, before the 93 Cup, they were at 23. After the 93 Cup, they're at 24.
Well, they won 20. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, they won 24 cups there, right?
Okay. Now, do you remember
who allowed to rip down this building? It's like ripping down the like. You understand what I'm saying?
I
These
understand.
are things that my friends and I the other night we were thinking about this because it doesn't look like we're drafting this guy, but nothing exciting is going on with the team.
Okay.
And I have a feeling we're not going to win for another 20 years.
So now I'm going to tell you something.
Yes.
So you remember that season, correct? The Tremblay-Roy thing. You remember it?
I
correct?
remember that moment. I don't remember the season. I think they won the cup the year before.
No, they won the cup. They won the cup in June of 1993.
Okay.
And then it was, I think, 5 games into the season, after a start of 0-5, Jacques Demers and Serge Savard were fired by Ronald Corey. And Ronald Corey brought in Régent Houle to be the general manager. He brought in Mario Tremblay to be the coach. And Mario Tremblay hired Cournoyer and Schutt to be his assistants, if memory serves me well. So now, to answer your question, Houle hires Tremblay in October of 1995. Less than 2 months after he's hired, this situation happens. Keep in mind that Serge Savard, the year before, almost traded Patrick Roy to Quebec for Stéphane Fizet because he thought that Patrick was getting too big for the team. But you are on the Sick Podcast tonight, Monday, July 31st, precisely at 11:32 p.m. Eastern Time, and you're saying, why didn't Régent Houle fire Mario Tremblay? And the reason why he didn't is because I know we're talking hockey, but let's just say this was a completely different industry. Would the boss fire his supervisor less than 2 months after he hired him, or would he get rid of his employee?
Told the guy won you a Stanley Cup by himself with a bunch of Scarpari. He won you a Stanley Cup.
I understand that, but there's people...
like we're gonna put him in the same boat as all these other people. Let's be honest here.
I understand that, but
I can't believe this guy. Like for us, it's like it's shocking.
Vito. In some industries, there are superstars, and some people make them walk.
I guess you're right.
Who's better than you, Vito?
To, your show's amazing. I love tuning in, man.
I love you, buddy.
You're
one of my favorite people. We worked in the same building, and you were one of my favorite people in that building. And you stayed true to yourself, and still today we are very good friends. And you gave me the honor of inviting me to your wedding, and I will be there with pleasure. As a matter of fact, and you know this, I was supposed to leave for Portugal.
That's right.
And when I got the invitation, I said, I'm going to go to the wedding. And I booked my trip to Portugal 1 week later.
And you're all heart, Tony. We're honored.
Because I want to be at your wedding. Now, as far as the envelope is concerned, do you accept gift certificates? Because I have some from the radio station.
Even you don't need no gifts. Your presence is a gift enough. And don't forget,
You're the best.
We met. Do you remember where we met?
I'm kidding, but I'm going to do this, though. I wish you all the best on your wedding day.
Yeah.
But seeing as there is an increase in divorces, very unfortunately, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post-date the check. If you guys 1 year, if you guys last, you can deposit it. If you don't, that's it.
You know what? It's not the first time I hear that, but that's. I think we're gonna last a long time. And don't forget, to Robert Viral Music Radio School. That's
you and I, a couple of years after I started doing radio. And I realized I wasn't very good. I registered to the Robert Viro Montreal Radio and Television School, and that's where we met initially, at the Montreal Radio and Television School. And we've been friends ever since. We ended up working in the same building for the longest time. And you're still there doing your thing, and I'm here doing my thing. And life is beautiful. Vito, I look forward to seeing you.
And you're a star now. Take care, brother.
Thank you, Vito. I look forward to seeing you at your wedding. All the best to you and Stephanie. So put me down for one person. I'll be there. My wife won't, because she will be in Europe. All right. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'll be back from Europe that day, I think. All right. Okay. On that note, a special thanks to all of you. That was a treat getting a call from my buddy, Vito V. I love this guy. I really do. All right. Okay. Thanks, everyone. And thank you, Bobby. Does Tony have any haters? Everyone loves the guy. No, not everyone. There's someone actually that took away my accreditation for 2.5 years. They said I was negative about the team. I said, what do you want me to do? You've missed the playoffs 5 years in a row and you fired 4 coaches. I mean, it's not that I'm negative. It's that the reality is negative. But anyway, it is what it is. They're a very particular team, and they go about their ways in a very particular fashion. Other than that, it's all good. I'm happy. You're happy. Everyone's happy. I want to thank you all for watching the Sick Podcast. You can, if you're watching on YouTube Live right now, share it, like it with your friends if you can. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it. If you're listening to us on Google, Apple, or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. It's our way of feeling the love. I read all your messages. I love you all. I'm not doing this alone. I think we're going in the right direction with this podcast. As a matter of fact, we have something planned for the next hockey season that's going to start in October that's absolutely going to knock your socks off. I think you're all going to freak out. And I'm really excited about being able to share that news. I can't share it yet, but I'm already excited about the prospect of sharing it with you in the next month or month and a half. So we have a lot of exciting things lined up. I think we're headed in the right direction. I know we are. We're going to make even more noise in the upcoming season. Thank you all for watching the Sick Podcast weeknights at 10 p.m. We're not taking any days off. We're going 12 months a year, at least for this summer we are, because Sammy says we're gaining momentum. Thank you, Sammy. And for Sammy and Juliana Cavallaro and Master Control, that's right, they're Cavallaro. I'm Marinaro.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. The Sick Podcast is brought to you by Energy Transportation Group, driven to be different. Bittt. Embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination.